Welcome back to the reading vlogs. If you can hear the wind, please ignore it. I need to have the window open. We had like 40 degrees the last 2 days, and today it's finally under 30 degrees. It's still warm. I'm still sweating, but it is at least not 40 degrees again. But life is living. I I didn't tell you last week, but I hurt my leg on Thursday. Practicing my roller skating. I did turns, like 180 turns, and I managed to get my knee stuck pretty much. Like I turned this way and the other foot didn't come around, and I just thought I maybe stretched my knee a little bit, like the muscles and stuff that are there, and I didn't give it much thought, but over the weekend it started to hurt pretty badly, and I can't put my weight on the leg. So I went to the doctor today, and it seems that I might have ripped my meniscus. I don't know if that's the right English word as well. If not, I'm gonna put the English pronunciation here. But yeah, and now I have an appointment tomorrow to get an MRI. And on Friday we will talk about what needs to be done, if it needs to be operated on or not. And for the first time in my life, I have my own crutches because I'm not supposed to put weight on the leg, which sucks. It's not the weather for that. I can't go out with the dog. I can't really do anything. My partner has to take him to the office twice this week because he does go into the office more now with his new job, and they love the dog, so we're all fine there, but it is still annoying that I can't even go out with my dog because I don't want to risk falling on these crutches. And whilst my dog is like trained and stays by my side, I can't trust all of the other dogs here because people don't train their dogs enough. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun week. I am off work for the week, so because of all of the doctor's appointments and stuff. So maybe I can get a little bit more reading done than I would normally, but that was not how I wanted to start this week, to be honest. But I had to go to the doctor. I'm somebody, I don't take things seriously when it comes to my health, which I know is a bad thing, but I always feel like I'm more dramatic than is warranted in situations. Turns out it's never that way, but I feel that way always. So I felt like I was being more dramatic about the pain in my knee than it was actually, because obviously now I have to get an MRI done, which seems to be indicating that there is something wrong, even though my head is still trying to convince me that it's just a little bit of pain. But yeah, we're gonna get through that. It's gonna be an adventure this week. But yeah, after getting that done, let's talk about the reading. I read Summoning Chaos, a demon human romance. I found it to be pretty boring, which was kind of annoying, but like the concept isn't really that bad, but the human summons the demon because he doesn't think it's working, but like he's bored, and so he summons the demon because of him being bored, and then he and the demon, they fall in love. It's from Stellar Rainbow, so it's connected to the My Demon Roommates series, like all of those books that I really like. But Summoning Chaos was just so boring compared to the other books by her, because all they are doing is pretty much like kissing each other and then going to class because the human is in college and wants to continue going to college, and the demon is just, chilling, going to class with him, enjoying life, magicking food to his human so he doesn't have to pay for food, stuff like that. It's just really boring. And there are also no, like, the physical aspect of the relationship is mostly like kissing and cuddling because the demon had some bad experiences and the human is really cute and nice and lovely, and so he's like, okay, I'm not gonna, sleep with you until you are comfortable with that because I won't force you to do anything. So even that aspect of the book is really boring in the beginning. So yeah, sadly, a really boring book. I'm giving it 2.5 stars, to be honest, because I really wasn't impressed with that at all. And other than that, I read Lore, which I don't have handy right now because I would have to get up, and I really don't want to get up. It's a mixture of like the Hunger Games and Greek gods. and stuff like that. I didn't like it. I gave it 2 stars. It's not for me. It's a YA. It's a weird mixture. It's one of those books I got in the book box and read the blurb and was like, it's not really talking to me. And yeah, I read it. It's nothing to write home about, to be honest. I wouldn't recommend reading it, so I'm not gonna go into more detail. It's gonna be in the wrap-up. I don't know if I will get around to film a Thursdays video because of the doctor's appointments this week, so we might have to skip out on that again, but I feel like life is just happening around me at the moment and I can't really control that, and so yeah, we're gonna have to live with the consequences of my actions. Though, you know, it's the first time I ever hurt myself doing sports. I'm now 31 and I have done a lot of sport in my life. Like, I grew up doing like track and taekwondo and jumping and all of that, like so many sports. I did like a lot of sports and I never once hurt myself until I discovered roller skating. So yeah, that's the beginning of the week. I will see you tomorrow after my doctor's appointment at some point, and we'll see. I need to pick a physical read still, and then I need to search for new romance. So I'm gonna give you the updates. I'm gonna give you the updates tomorrow, and we'll see if I can already get some kind of closure with the MRI. I don't know how fast I will get the results, so we'll see. Okay, let's start with talking about the reading. I have picked a physical read that I will start tomorrow, and I did start one today, which I am finally tackling my Lovecraft collection. This is the complete fiction of Lovecraft. I bought this, to be honest, before I had any idea about Lovecraft and his character and, you know, just any idea about his person, because I am sad to say that I am somebody who does not Google authors, which I know is a bad habit, and I should look more into the authors I read. Absolutely. I just can't bring myself to care about authors, so I don't know. It's a topic I need to tackle at some point. But yeah, I own this collection. I bought it, oh, it's so long ago now. Maybe like 8-9 years ago is when I bought this, and I have never read it. So I've decided to tackle this 2 stories a week at a time, because obviously these are a whole bunch of shorter stories. So I decided 2 a week means that I will get through this in a couple of months. And yeah, so this is going to be a long time project, because this is a massive book. The pages are like full, so it takes a little bit to get through those stories, even though they're short. And today I read the first one, which is The Beast in the Cave. Which is about a guy who books like a cave tour and then he goes off on his own. You know, brilliant idea. His torch goes out, he hears voice, like sounds, and then thinks something is like going to eat him, hunt him. He tries to defend himself. Yeah, and then in the end it's pretty like, what have you done, kind of. I know they're all horror stories, and it is technically like a horror story. For me, the story was more like, man, you're such a dumb person. Like, the guy, the main character, really is like your typical overconfident man that doesn't care for anybody but himself. That kind of, you know, says who the guy is. So yeah, that is what I did read today. And then the book I've chosen to start tomorrow is this one of my German books, because I did like the whole plan of going through my German books and rereading them, and then to, like, you know, choose whether I want to keep them or whether I want to donate them or sell them, whatever. And most of these are like fantasy with a little bit of romance in there, but like your typical teen fantasy of the early 2000s, or like middle 2000s. No, middle to end of the 2000s. I'm born in 1994, so, you know, when I was around like 10 to 15, 16. And this one is called Meridian Dunkle Umarmung. I need to put the English title on screen, because obviously I have no idea what these books are called in English, by Amber Kitzer. And this is about it's about a girl who, once she turns 16, she realizes that she is a special person whose job it is to like lead souls to heaven, kind of, and yeah, the adventures that come with that. And yeah, I don't remember much about the book, but I know that I was drawn to the cover when I bought it. So yeah, I'm interested to see what this is and if I like it still, because I do remember really liking it when I read it the first time, and I'm pretty sure I only read it once, which is pretty rare for books. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. That is the reading, the health updates. Other than that, I did a whole lot of cross-stitching, and I now have a whole lot of more of color in there, as you can tell. It's looking really great. I love it. I don't know, cross-stitching is like so relaxing for me. This is like now 3.5% maybe, or like closer to like 3% of the whole picture, but you can tell, you know, this is a frame, like an arching frame above the piece, and yeah, we have a lot of like blues and pinks in there. And then what I did also work on is the crochet top I'm doing, and that is looking like this at the moment. I have the neckline done up here, and now I'm working on the body, and then, you know, there will be sleeves down here, and then a little bit of like a border on the sides, so this will still take some time. But yeah, I'm still not sure if I like the color of the yarn, but I could make it black. It's cotton, it's easily dyeable, so I could make it black if I want to, but I'm gonna finish it first and then we're gonna see. But yeah, I'm making good progress. Obviously, being on sick leave from work makes it so I have a lot more time for my hobbies, which is kind of nice, but I would have much rather less pain and more work, if I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, it is what it is. So those are the plans. I haven't finished a romance so far. I do have to say, something that I realized is with romance, I always underestimated the fantasy that romance authors have. Like the way, like there are so many like really similar romance books, but there is so much different stuff out there. Like for every kink there's a book, for every different type of situation with the romance there's a book. Like they are so creative. Like romance writers are really, really creative, and I have to give them that. Like I'm trying all of the different kinks and stuff like that. I'm trying everything just to see if I like something, and it is a lot of fun to just try different like kink books. And you know, the romance kind, I'm kind of keeping away from the like purely smutty kind at the moment, because I do like the relationship aspects of the romances, but I do think it's kind of interesting what you can find out there. Like it's super interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna continue trying myself through different authors and books, and then we'll see if I find something that I will actually finish. But I do like just reading like 20-30 pages, seeing if I like it or not, and then going on. It's kind of a fun thing to do. So yeah, that is where we're at. I'm gonna check in with you once I started this one, and maybe once I finished the second short story in this massive book. And yeah, then we'll see what this book will be giving. It will be a little bit harder to talk about because I don't know the fantasy names and stuff in English if I don't see them in English. So we'll have to see how easy it will be to talk about this book, but I'm gonna try and we'll see. But yeah, so far at least the reading is going good, the hobbies are going good. Now I only need to get my body back under control. Okay, let's talk about the reading. I read 150 pages of Meridian Dark Huck, which is probably the wrong name. You know, I get why I like this as like a teen. I wouldn't describe myself as rebellious, but like as an alternative teen who didn't have a great time being a teenager. I get why I like this, but it is so laughably at times. We have Meridian, who ever since she's been born, animals come to her when they are dying, and so she finds dead animals around herself all the time. And so pretty much she doesn't really have people who want to hang out with her because of that, and her parents like treat it like a gift, but they also don't really want to have anything to do with it. And the only person who doesn't really care is her baby brother, who is 6 when she's 16. So she lives a long time before her brother comes along. And he's the only one who doesn't care. And on her 16th birthday, her parents start behaving really weirdly, and she goes to school, comes back on the afternoon, and then somebody tries to kill her, but she is able to get out of the way, and so a couple of her classmates get killed, and she is suddenly in like a lot of pain, and her mom is like carrying her away, and they're like, oh my god, you need to go to your aunt. I thought I had time to tell you, but you can't. And then she's whisked off to her aunt, and we get to know that she's actually an angel called a Fenestra, and that she is like, her role is to get souls to go from Earth to heaven, but nobody ever explained that to her. And the parents are like your typical special teenage, we don't want to acknowledge that something is different kind of parents who are really neglectful in that. And so the whole gist is like, oh, we should have told you, but I didn't want to ruin your childhood. She didn't have a great childhood. They ruined her childhood with not explaining anything to her. And then she goes to her aunt, and she learns what everything is about, and she suffers quite a lot. And you know, the main character is your typical alternative-looking teen, no friends, suffering, hating her life, kind of being just tired of life. And I get why a teenage me loved the book, you know. I was not a popular teenager, and I looked really weird. It was kind of a mixture between my mom feeling like you didn't really need all the pretty things, but like pretty like in my perspective, and so me doing what I could with the clothes that I was allowed to buy. And like I wasn't allowed to wear makeup, and my hair was always not so great looking because I was a teenager with acne, and it didn't look great, you know. There aren't a lot of pictures of me for a reason. Like I really don't have a lot of pictures from like age 10 to like age 20 because I hated how I looked, so there aren't a lot of them. But yeah, I get why teenage me loved this book, but I will definitely get rid of it. It's I don't know, I can't take it seriously. It's like such a I'm special, please listen to me book. You know, saving, like, not really saving the world, but like, you know, having special abilities and having to learn how to deal with them, and learning why nobody ever wanted to contact with you and why you had to suffer so long. Like it's a book for teenagers. So yeah, I don't know. It's funny, you know. The longer I read it, the more it comes back to me, and I can't fault myself for loving the book when I read it as a teenager, because obviously it speaks to teenagers, you know. But yeah, as an adult, I can't take this seriously at all, like at all. So yeah, I will finish this probably tomorrow. I'm like nearly halfway through. It's really not like a long read. It's a really quick read, and also the German is just really weird. You can tell this one is from 2009, and they tried to use like cool language, but it sounds like a boomer using teenager language at that time, so it reads really weird. Obviously, I don't know if it's the same in the original language, in English, but in German it just sounds weird, so that also makes it weird, because like they kept the currency, because it plays in America, they kept the currency, and the girl still calls her parents mom and dad, which in German you wouldn't do. You would call them Mama and Papa. So most likely that's like the correct word in German, you know. So they didn't translate those things, but then they translated like the car to like a really weird word. So yeah, I don't really know what they did with the translation. It's not the greatest translation, to be honest. So yeah, but it is kind of fun to go back down memory lane and rediscover my slightly dramatic teenager self. But yeah, it is kind of fun. Other than that, I have started a romance, but I'm not super far into it. It's about he's not he might be a nurse who works in like an old people home, and the doctor that comes new into the little town and takes over the doctor position as the nursing home, and all of the residents deciding that those two belong together. And that is what I'm reading. But yeah, I'm like 20 pages in or something like that. So they just met each other and have made a not so great impression on each other. Yeah, other than that, what other update do I have? I have progress on my cross stitch, as you can tell. It is starting to look like something. I also started a new project, because why not? Which you can't tell anything, but it is going to be the map of Stardew Valley, which is one of my favorite video games. And I found yesterday, I fell down like a rabbit hole of cross-stitch stuff, and I found the Stardew Valley map, the newest one, as a cross-stitch, so I had to have that, and I decided to start it, because why not? And then also, I finished the body of my crochet top, and yeah, it's the body, and now I am working on the first sleeve, but I'm not super far into that. But yeah, I had a lot of time today to work on my projects and hobbies, obviously being on sick leave. So yeah, that was really nice and really, really needed, to be honest. And I'm a lot more relaxed today than I was the last couple of months, to be honest. So yeah, I'm gonna continue. Tomorrow I will check in once I finish this, and then I also do still need to read my second Lovecraft short story for the week. So I will do that probably tomorrow or then Saturday, and hopefully I can get a good way through the romance tonight. That would also be really, really great. So yeah, I'll see you once I have an update. Okay, we have a little bit to talk about. I finished 2 books, my physical reading and my romance from yesterday. Let's start with this book. I don't think I'm gonna give it a rating. It just doesn't feel fair to my teenager self, because I couldn't take it seriously. It is a product of its time. You know, you have this awkward relationship where like the boy teases the main character, you know, and she's like, oh my god, why am I falling in love with a guy who teases me? You know, it is really so much a product of its time. It feels unfair to actually give it a rating. I will let go of it. I don't want to keep it. It's not what I want to read anymore. But at the same time, I can't be angry at it. I feel like for like a 14, 15-year-old, this is like peak yearning for being special and being something else and inserting yourself in the, like, where the main character is, you know, and feeling like cool and alternative and being like just cooler than the rest, even though, you know, you're actually not. So that is most probably what I would take away from this book. Obviously I won't spoil the story. Maybe if you want to pick it up. Maybe in the English version it's actually not as... I don't want to say cringy, because I feel like it's a pretty negatively connotated word. Like, I don't really want to be mean to the book, but like it's awkward in places. Maybe it's not if you read it in English, but in the German translation it turns pretty awkward at times, you know. Well, also it has like wolves and stuff. Like, it is like your peak end of 2000s book, and I love it for that. For that, I absolutely love it. I'm not gonna give it a rating because I don't feel it's fair. But I had a great time reading it, and I'm happy to let it go and never think about it again. I think that kind of really greatly sums up my feelings. Then let's talk about the romance I read. That was a really sad romance, but I kind of didn't expect. It's called Sandcastles and Sunburns, a DKAG short story. It's like a kinky short story about like age play, which, you know, it's fine. It's not what I seek out, but it was fine in the story. But it's mostly about a gay, kinky romance author and his neighbor who is ex-military and who lost his partner 10 years ago in an operation and who has never recovered from it. And then he meets our romance author and he starts to realize that maybe he did himself a disservice for the last 10 years, and he falls in love with our romance author. And our romance author has like his eyes set on him like straight from the beginning. The middle was really, really sad. They had like we have our the military ex-military guy. We have him connecting back with his friends and stuff, and then they talk about what happened and about romanticization of like past relationships, especially if the partner is not alive anymore, and holding back because you feel guilty about being the one who survived and all of that. It was like really heavy in the middle and really sad, but around that the relationship was really cute, and there was a little bit of miscommunication, but it was centered around the grief, so I felt like it was fine, because I do get that might be something that is actually really realistic when one person is still grieving, that the other might get the impression that they are not ready for a relationship, even though they kind of gave you the feels that they are. I feel like that is a pretty realistic miscommunication, so I was fine with that. So yeah, all in all, it was pretty cute and totally sad story. I may have shed a tear here or there. It's also a pretty short story. It's only 145 pages, which, to be honest, I felt like was perfect for the book. I wouldn't have wanted it to be longer, because I wouldn't have wanted it to draw the sad part out more for my personal taste. So yeah, that is what I read. I picked up one other, the one with the doctor that I talked about, I think. Didn't like the characters, so I put that away again. And yeah, I need to find a new one for tonight. Other than that, I was at the doctor's today. Thankfully, nothing is majorly damaged, but I have some damage in my knee that needs to be kept an eye on, because it's not gonna get better, but we are trying to let it not get worse. So I'm still in pain. It will probably take another week or so for the pain to actually go away, but I can put weight on it. I can slowly get back into the swing of things and just, ride out the pain, get it all back to normal, and then I will now have to regularly go back to the orthopedics doctor, and we will have to keep an eye on my knee and probably on my other knee as well, because he told me that it's probably in both knees. So yeah, it's gonna be fun, but I'm making the best out of it. I already ordered some workout equipment that I can do like pull-ups and stuff like that, so I have more workout stuff that I can do that doesn't necessarily put pressure on my knees, because if I have a bad knee day, which will probably come around, I still want to be able to do my workouts and stuff, because I haven't been able to do this week. And I do actually enjoy working out in my own home, on my own terms, but I do enjoy working out, and I can't wait to get back on my roller skates. It's actually fine to get back on my roller skates, which I'm super excited for. So it wasn't what I wanted to hear. I would have loved to hear that my knees are totally fine. They're not, but they aren't like totally horrible, though they shouldn't quite look like they are looking for my age, but I knew that already. I tend to get the like annoying illnesses that you tend to get like 50 up, even though I'm just 30. But we're living, we're doing it. I can deal with the pain. It's not that bad, though he told me that I might have to like figure out more comfortable positions now, because he's like, okay, some positions will just hurt my knee no matter what I do, and I just used to ignore the pain, but turns out if you have pain in your knees, there's probably something wrong, and you shouldn't ignore it for like the last 10 years, But yeah, all in all, it was a better talk with the doctor than I thought in the beginning, so we're totally fine. No like operations needed, at least right now. In the future might look different, but right now we're fine and good. So yeah, other than that, I shouldn't have started the Stardew Valley cross stitch, because I am sucked in. I love it so. It's giving me so much joy that I'm allowing myself to like put focus on this project. But yeah, it is giving me so much joy, and that is how far I've come. I am working on the label on the map right now, and I will probably like try and finish this. I don't have all of the colors. I do need to order some, but I decided to only order them once I've finished with all of the other colors, because then I can tell what I totally need, because I didn't measure my length, so I would have to estimate what colors I need to order, and I don't want to do that, so I will finish the colors that I have and then I will order the rest. But yeah, I will probably work on this for the rest of the night, evening, afternoon. It is, I think, like 3 o'clock or something like that. So yeah, I will focus on that the rest of the afternoon, because it just brings me so much joy right now, so I'm gonna roll with it. And yeah, that is probably all for today. I am utterly exhausted. It has been a day. We went back to my piercer. I now have a properly fitted Medusa piercing, which I'm super excited for. It looks really, really great, as I say to myself. But yeah, I love it. I think it looks really great. I think it fits really well, and like the piercing studio I go to, like the people there are so lovely. I absolutely love them. The person who did the exchange of the body of the piercing today was like so lovely. We had a really good talk and a really good laugh about like the struggles of having piercings and stretched ears and stuff like that, because obviously I stretched my ears as a teenager, which, let me tell you, was not a good idea. I don't have problems with this side, but I do have a ton of problems with this side being stretched, because I was an impatient teenager, and one thing my parents couldn't stop me from was buying ear stretchers and stretching my ears. And so yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Do it responsibly at a piercers. But yeah, I know I have to live with that. But yeah, we had a good laugh about that. And yeah, I can now finally eat again without feeling like I'm biting on my piercing, which is great. Reading wise, I read my second short story in this one, which is called The Alchemist. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's about a family who is cursed. It's like one of those like old rich families who used to own a castle, and then their property falling into disrepair because they can't keep it up. And our main character is the last in line, who actually decided not to have children because the curse on the family was like nobody lives longer till 32, and now he's 30 and he is living in this dilapidated castle, and he doesn't really know what to do, and so he decides to do a lot of exploring, because he grew up pretty shut away from society, because obviously his father died pretty shortly after he was born at 32, and his mother died in childbirth, so he was brought up by the servant. And then he finds somebody in the castle, and the mystery unravels. Yeah, I liked it. It's a pretty good like look at like consequences for your actions, and it has a little bit of mystery in there that our main character kind of can't grasp, but I was fine with that. So yeah, we are making progress. I like both stories so far. They aren't like world changing stories, but they are fine short stories so far. Yeah, other than that, I have done I bought a book. Obviously we went out for the piercing, which left me exhausted because of my knee. I have a lot of pain in my knee now, but it had to be done. I had the appointment, so you know, I couldn't not go. And then on our way back, we did a little bit of errands, and I bought a book, because obviously I can't go past a bookstore and not buy a book. And this one is kind of funny because I have quite a few Anne Rice books, but I don't have the like correct order of books. I just have random ones from her series, and I think 2 or 3 standalones. And so I never read them, and then when we were in the bookstore, I actually found a copy of Interview with the Vampire, which I've never read, and I have never watched the movie, so I know actually nothing about it, which is kind of funny. And because I have other ones in the series, I decided to buy the first one and actually try reading it, and then if I don't like the first one, I can just get rid of the rest of the books off from my TBR without ever touching them, because then it won't make sense. I got them in a book box, so it wasn't my like I didn't buy them because I wanted to have them. I wanted other books in the box, and they were in the box with the rest of the book. But yeah, this was a really cheap copy. It's like €7, so it's really, really cheap. And it has the font that is The Man in the High Castle, I think it was pretty much how it looks. But yeah, it's like, it feels like a mass market paperback copy, which I love. So I'm totally fine with that. It's one of those that has like really like tiny compact writing in it. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to try this out. I didn't watch the movie because I'm not a big fan of the actors in the movie. To be honest, I'm not a fan of Leonardo DiCaprio or Brad Pitt. I think those are the two like most well-known actors in that one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I don't like those. So we're gonna try and read it at some point, probably nearer rather than later. And now let's talk about cross-stitching. My biggest project looks like this now. It is getting there, but it is pretty much like the interesting part to stitch is the middle. So obviously this one is a little bit more monotonous stitching wise, but it is looking really great. And yeah, I'm filling in this triangle now. So yeah, and then let's talk about the project that has me fully in its fingers. That is the Stardew Valley one, and I am currently working on the sign of the map, as you can see. And yeah, I'm making like massive progress on that one because I am having so much fun stitching this. I don't know, I think it's because the map is like pixel graphics, and obviously cross-stitching is kind of pixel graphics because you stitch like crosses in squares. So I feel like it is super satisfying to stitch it because it's super similar to how it looks in the game. So yeah, that is what I will be continuing to work on today. And other than that, I don't really have any other updates. I have started the sleeve for my crochet piece, but I have a lot of pain in my pinky on this side because of my eczema, and that actually gets in the way of crocheting for some reason. I don't know. I move my hands weirdly, and the yarn like rubs over the already hurt parts of my little finger, so I can't do much crocheting, which is why I didn't make much progress there. But I can do stitching, so that is why I will be continuing today. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week's vlog. And yeah, I will have to pick a new read. Oh, I did find 2 romances that I read yesterday, but I'm not finished with them. One is about a guy who tries to commit suicide, and the guy who finds him on the road and shows him that life is actually worth living, even though it might be hard. Super sad at the beginning, but like both guys are really lovely. And then the second one is about a gamer and a photographer, and the gamer is like a YouTuber, like a super popular YouTuber, and he behaves really badly at like a photo shoot because he doesn't really want to be there, and the photographer who keeps him in line, and then like they're both pretty obviously attracted to each other straight from the beginning, looks wise but not character wise, but they kind of fit, you know. But I'm more interested and excited for the first one than the second one, but we'll continue with those. So how I like them, you will have to see in next week's vlog. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's vlog, even though it was kind of chaotic again. But yeah, I hope you had a great reading week, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!